Carol was a very beautiful girl. She was 26 years old. She lived a simple life. She worked at a bakery to help her family. Every morning, she woke up early, and every night, she went to bed tired. That was her life. One day, everything changed. A boy came into the bakery. His name was Paul. He was rich. Everyone in town knew his last name. His family had money, cars, houses, everything. But he came alone, and he asked for one cupcake. The next day, he came again and again. People started talking. Why is Paul going to that bakery? Is he lost? Is he in trouble? But Paul was not lost. He began asking questions to Carol. What do you like? Do you read books? Do you like music? Carol was confused. Why are you talking to me? She asked. He smiled and said, because you are not like the others. That made her think. What did he mean? What was he looking for? After 2 weeks, he said, I think I like you. Carol didn't know what to say. She was poor. He was rich. Was he joking? But the next day he said it again. I think I like you a lot. Now she was confused. Could a rich boy love a poor girl? Would his family accept her? Was this even real? At first, no one knew about Paul and Carol. They talked in secret. They laughed. They shared stories. It felt special, but secrets don't stay secret forever. One morning, Paul didn't come. Then 2 days passed. Then 3. Carol was worried. Did he forget about me? Did I do something wrong? On the 4th day, he came back, but he looked different. He said, my parents found out about us. Carol's heart began to beat fast. She said nothing. She just listened. They are angry, Paul said. They told me I can't see you again. Why? Carol thought. What did I do? Paul said, they said if I stay with you, they will stop supporting me. No money, no car, no job in the family business. Carol couldn't believe it. She wanted to cry, but she stayed quiet. Then he said, I don't care. I want to be with you. But Carol wasn't happy. She was scared. If he chooses me, he will lose everything. She said, you don't need me. You need your future. Paul answered, you are my future. Those words were sweet, but also dangerous. Now Paul had to choose love or money, Carol or his family. And Carol had to ask herself a painful question. Do I let him fight for me, or do I walk away before he loses everything? There was one more problem. Someone else was watching. Someone who wanted Paul for herself, and she was ready to do anything to take him back. Days passed. Paul kept visiting Carol, even when his parents told him not to. Every time he left his house, they asked, where are you going? Are you still talking to her? Paul didn't answer. He didn't want to lie, but he didn't want to stop seeing Carol. At the same time, something else was happening. Rachel, a rich girl from Paul's world, had always liked Paul. Their parents wanted them to be together. Everyone thought they would get married one day, but now Paul was spending time with a poor girl. Rachel was angry. She felt jealous. She felt afraid. What if he loves Carol? What if he forgets about me forever? She began making plans. One day, Rachel went to the bakery. She looked at Carol and said, "You don't belong with Paul. He has a future. You don't. Do you really want to destroy his life?" Carol didn't answer, but her heart was beating fast. That night, Carol couldn't sleep. She thought, maybe Rachel is right. Maybe I'm just a problem. Maybe I should go. The next day, Paul came with flowers. He said, "I want you to meet my friends." But Carol said, "Maybe we should stop." Paul was shocked. "Why?" he asked. She said, "Your life is full of big things. Mine is small. You will lose everything. I don't want that." Paul looked at her. "I already told you. I don't care." Carol didn't know what to do. She knew that Rachel was right. Paul's father took his car, his money, and his phone. He said, "If you want to live like a poor man, go ahead." Paul had nothing now. He came to Carol walking. He looked tired. Carol felt pain in her heart. He is losing everything, and it's my fault. Paul said, "This is not your fault. This is my choice." But Carol didn't feel better. She began to think about leaving. At the same time, Rachel told Paul's parents a lie. She said, "Carol is using him. She wants his money. She told me that." Paul's mother began crying. Paul was angry. "That's not true," he said. But his parents didn't believe him. Now everything was broken. But Paul didn't give up. Even with no car, no money, and no support from his parents, he still came to see Carol. But Carol was changing. She didn't smile like before. She didn't speak much. Her heart was heavy. One night, Carol wrote a letter. In the letter, she said, "You have a big future. You don't need me. I don't want to be the reason you lose everything. I love you, but I must go." She left the letter on the bakery table and went home. She didn't wait for him to come. The next morning, Paul found the letter. He read it. He didn't cry. He didn't speak. He just left. That same day, Rachel's parents organized a party. Everyone important was invited, rich families, business friends, even Paul's parents. Rachel told her friends, "Tonight, Paul will be mine again." But Paul didn't come. People waited. Rachel smiled and said, "He will come," but she was wrong. Paul went to the bakery to meet Carol. She saw Paul and said, "Why are you here?" He gave her the letter and said, "You don't decide for me. I decide. I want you. Not money, not parties, not lies." Carol felt hopeful. At the party, Paul's mother found a voice message on Rachel's phone. Rachel had forgotten to delete it. In the message, Rachel said, "Carol is just a poor girl. She's no danger. I'll scare her. She'll leave him. Trust me." Paul's mother listened in silence. Then she said to her husband, "We made a huge mistake." The next morning, Paul's mother went to the bakery. When Carol saw her, her heart stopped. What is she doing here? Will she ask me to leave Paul again? But Paul's mother didn't look angry. She put a small letter on the table. "I found this," she said. Carol opened the letter. It was the same letter she had written to Paul, the goodbye letter. "Paul gave me this yesterday," his mother said. "He loves you." Carol didn't say a word. She didn't know what was happening. Then Paul's mother said, "I listened to a message on Rachel's phone. She planned everything. She lied to us. She said you were using him, but you were trying to protect him." Carol was confused. Was this real? Then Paul's mother said, "We were wrong. I was wrong. I judged you for being poor, but you are rich in something we don't have: honesty." That same day, Rachel's lies became public. Her voice message was sent to many people: her friends, her family, her coworkers. People began asking questions. Did she really try to break them apart? Was everything fake? Rachel said nothing. She left town 1 week later. 2 weeks later, Paul's father said, "I want to talk to you both." Carol was nervous. Paul was quiet. Then his father said, "When I was young, I loved a girl like you. My father didn't let me marry her. I never forgot her. I don't want to make the same mistake with my son. I don't care if you are poor. You are honest, and that's what this family needs." Paul and Carol looked at each other. They were very happy. 3 months later, everything had changed. Carol and Paul were still together. They didn't have a big house. They didn't have expensive things, but they had peace. Paul began to work at the bakery. He learned how to make bread and cakes. Paul's parents visited the bakery every Saturday. His mother was always proud of him. One day, Paul's father said, "The family business is yours, if you still want it." Paul didn't know what to say. Carol said, "You don't need to choose. Now you have both, a new future and me." Paul smiled. "No," he said, "we have a new future." Carol looked at the bakery, at the people, at Paul. She remembered the first day they met. He only asked for a cupcake, and now they had love, respect, trust. No money could buy that. Sometimes people think money is the most important thing, but money can disappear. Love cannot. Paul had everything, but he was not happy. Love is not about gifts or big houses. It is about choosing each other, even when it's hard. If someone loves you for who you are, not for what you have, that is real love. And real love is stronger than lies, fear, or money. So if you are ever in the middle of a big choice like we were, ask yourself, what makes my heart feel full, even when my hands are empty? That's the right answer. If you liked this story, please like, comment, share, and subscribe.